Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. Today, it's Friday. That means I'm here with Rex from Dynamite. What's up, Rex?
What's up, Robbie? How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. We're here to chat about comic books, maybe a little bit of football. We're going to be previewing some of the stuff coming up over at the Experience, the Comics Collectibles, and with Rex and John. That's on Monday nights at 5 p.m. Central Time. It goes for 2 hours. I'm there with Rex and John. We got lots of great comics and collectibles available for purchase, for best offers, for claim sales, things like that. It's always a fun, grand old time, isn't it, Rex?
It is, and we try to keep it interesting. Our viewers play a large role in that as well. Obviously, they give us a lot of different topics, and we have a good group of regulars that come by and some new people now, and and their questions and their interactions. I think it really makes the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. It is super fun. And of course, Rex is there at Dynamite headquarters. And I just wanted to point out that y'all had a big release this week with Evil Ernie #1.
Yes, that is correct.
I got the Ken Haeser TMNT homage cover there because I just love these homage covers. And plus, it's our homie Ken Haeser, who we usually have a lot of work from on these shows on Monday.
We do.
And this was my first Evil Ernie comic, Rex, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was wild. I thought it was rather fun.
I think that's kind of up your alley as a horror fan that you are. But on Wednesday, when we were working with AR Comics, guess who popped into the chats to join us?
Who?
Ken Haeser.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to try to hook something up with him where, he comes on one of our shows. He mentioned it in the chats and maybe do a live sketch or something like that. I don't know what day it's going to be yet, but hopefully we can get that worked out with Ken. And as you know, John and I are huge fans, and we're doing our best to try to turn you and AR into fans as well. And I think we're doing a pretty good job, although it's not very hard work to turn people into Haeser fans. Not only the work he's done on Evil Ernie, but as you know, we have his sketch cover remarks every week on the show because number one, it's just phenomenal. Number two, it's become a real area of collecting, so to speak, that's kind of carved out. I think that the remarks when they started were just something you would get at cons. You get a line sketch, a headshot or something like that. And something they did quick as an added bonus to fans, including signing the book. And I think guys like Ken Haeser have turned it into an entirely different kind of art form in the comics world. And it's been a real subsection of collecting for comic collectors, So it's been really cool, though. But it was really cool to have him on the show. So that, when you join us, you never know who might pop in.
Yeah.
Could be anybody.
Yeah, that's really cool. Ken's work is cool because as you guys talk about, he can kind of do work in people's style. Like, all of these TMNT covers that you guys have been releasing,
right?
They look like Eastman and Laird could have done them. You know what I'm saying? They're definitely in that style. And he does that, we were talking about the Carl Barks stuff with the Uncle Scrooge cover. He can do those really gnarly alien pieces.
Yes.
But in the midst of all of it, you definitively see a style from Ken Haeser, which I think is really cool to be able to do other styles or homage them, but still have your own distinctive vision that's very prevalent there. I think that's something very exceptional that he does.
I agree. It's for me, it's always the range that he has, that's really something you don't see a lot of, not to detract from any other creators, but a lot of creators have a certain style and that's their style. And it's great, but Ken seems to have the ability to have his own style, but also be able to do and very easily kind of draw things in other people's styles. And that to me is what's amazing about him is that he's able to do that. And it's not copying someone's style in the sense that you've got, I don't know, Captain America with his shield and, I'm going to copy, that particular style and that same position, but he's able to do it with just creating it from scratch, so to speak, but using someone else's style. And I think that's truly amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool stuff. And those TMNT covers have been awesome. People at my shop are loving them. And I know here in the community online, here on YouTube, people are really into them. And I've been getting them all. Like every single one of them. There's a Barbarella one too. It's somewhere in the apartment. I couldn't find it though. But really great covers. I'm sure we're going to have something from Ken on the show Monday because there hasn't been a show I've done with you guys where we haven't had something from Ken Haeser. But what can people expect on the show Monday night, Rex?
Well, Monday, as usual, we're going to have a lot of signed books. We're going to have graded books. And of course, we're going to have remarks, and a lot of them are going to be Ken Haeser remarks. But I sent you a partial list. I know we've been so slammed with the holidays, the holiday season approaching and things, and got a lot of stuff going on. So got a little bit behind. Usually I have that show prep, before I go on with Robbie, but unfortunately we're a little bit behind. So I don't know what remarks there are, but here you go. If you come up with any ideas, email me after the show, and we'll see if I can't pull something like that for us for Monday. But we'll probably try to bring the coin set back. I know that that's been something people have been asking for after we started giving it away for a contest. So that'll be there. A statue. Don't know which one yet. I gotta go in the back and pick one out. But the statues have been really popular, which we didn't really think that they would be. Not that they are popular, to the collectible world. We weren't sure if it was going to go work with the show, and then we brought a couple of pieces on, and the viewers loved it. So
yeah, they get a lot of action because we typically do the best offers for that one, and we introduce it early. And we've done this awesome art germ. Vampirella bust, that Purgatory statue. I remember people were going nuts over that.
Yeah, that one was a little crazy. Yeah, I couldn't write fast enough, So luckily we have Amy who is also keeping track of that stuff. Otherwise, I would have gotten lost. I think I missed one. What was it, on Monday? I think I confused a couple of that stuff.
Well, it happens when we're talking about spam and football and doing everything else aside from talking about the comic books we're trying to push on the evening. But it's always a fun time.
So your boys won last night, but that was not a pretty one.
Well, it was pretty for our defense, I would say. Offense has got some things to work out, but luckily we got a lot of easy pickings in the NFC East coming up, so I think we should be able to handle it.
Yeah, well, I would probably agree with you there. I think you guys will take the division, but I would really be very worried about your offense.
I am. I am,
Rex. He's obviously hurt, so he needs to get better. And I guess they're playing him because they really feel like they got no choice. And you weren't exactly facing a top-tier quarterback there, my friend. And I know Taysom Hill had a split on his throwing hand.
Yeah, it's probably one of the reasons why we had 4 picks that night, right? So
for someone not named Jalen
including
Hurts.
the pick 6 by the big man. I love seeing that. That's always fun. Those dudes never get to do, touchdown.
Yeah, I know. It's always good for the big guys to get one, but So it was an ugly win, my friend. I don't think getting out of NFC East is a problem. I think your first round playoff, depending on who you draw, is going to be a problem.
Yeah. Well, 8-4 is a good turnaround from last year. And so if we're just looking at momentum and building year to year, that's pretty solid. Obviously, Cowboy fans always have their expectations that this could be the year we go back to the Super Bowl. And non-Cowboys fans always love to see that dream get crushed. So it always makes interesting drama, no matter how good or bad the Cowboys are each year. But yeah, there's some offensive struggles right there. They got to get that run game going, because without that run game going, it's too much pressure on Dak, and he's just been he's not been himself since he's come back from that injury.
I think he's really kind of still hurt. So, you're playing him because I guess you really don't have any options. But yeah, it's no doubt.
We're paying him $75 million. We got to play him. Same thing. That's why Zeke, and that's the problem. Like, Zeke's getting so many carries because he's like one of the top paid running backs, right? But meanwhile, we see that Pollard is the one that's doing like the best. And it's just so weird. And then they take Micah Parsons and they don't have him like be a pass rusher. They put him in like coverage sometimes. And it's just, it's puzzling. It's puzzling, but more of the pieces are getting back. We had D-Law back last night. He had some big plays. We had Amari and we had CD back, and CD, I was very impressed with CD last night. So there's just they need to get that run game going, because then that's, when you got both going for you, you're almost undefendable.
Well, if you can't run the ball, you can't run play action, and that's your problem. It takes effectiveness off of that.
Yeah. Well, we couldn't run the game. We couldn't run the ball at the end of the game, so we couldn't ice the game. So we kept going 3 and out, bruh. Like, I couldn't believe it. There was a time where they didn't even run the ball. Like they did. It was at the end. They ran the ball. They get 5 yards, and then they did 2 incomplete passes, and then gave the ball back to the Saints. And I'm just like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
gotta get back to that playbook, Kellen. Come on, man.
Yeah, I got to admit, yeah, I mean, some of the coaching decisions have been questionable at best, but beyond that, I mean, look, I think everybody knows that if the Cowboys are in the Super Bowl, you're going to get massive ratings. The NFL knows that, but I think there may be one matchup which I think is very feasible at this stage of the season. Is could you imagine a Bucks Patriots Super Bowl?
At
That
this
would
at this
be.
point, yeah, you
Yeah,
could.
I mean, I think it's very feasible at this point. I mean, because nobody thought the Patriots would do as well as they've been doing, and they have plain old fashioned, football, good defense, good mixture of running and getting that kid Mac Jones throwing. But could you imagine Belichick against Brady? Wow, that would be something.
And it would be a rematch from earlier this year, which
Yeah,
would
well,
add
I
to
think
that tension.
that first meeting wasn't a true. You have a rookie quarterback. But now seeing the way that they're playing, that'd be one heck of a game, I think. So
Yeah, you never know. But don't sleep on the Rams. They're
yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
they
They're
could.
like top of the AFC. So
Yeah.
we'll
No,
see
no,
if they
no.
can
I
survive
agree with that.
Pittsburgh this weekend, Rex. Let's. I feel for my Pittsburgh fans, man.
It's been well, I mean, I think we all know they should have been rebuilding at the quarterback position a couple seasons ago.
Yeah.
I kind of understand why they didn't. Ben's been the backbone of that team for so many years, but I don't know, man. We all saw it coming. He was
Yeah,
getting old.
Pittsburgh's a loyal city, and they're a loyal organization. I mean, like they're having like in the last it's been forever. There's been like three coaches there over the
Yeah,
last like 30 or 40 years. Like
yeah.
they stick with people, but sometimes that's not always the best thing to do. We talk about football so much around. Obviously, it's football season. Y'all got to pull out you got to pull out Super Pro. Can I get like a Super Pro Ken Haeser remark next time you guys have them do something like?
Well, if
get
we
this
can get him,
Super
if
Pro.
we can get him on one of our shows, you might be able to ask him yourself.
Yes, let's do it.
All right, and maybe that's what he'll sketch on air. Who knows?
Yeah,
Right?
Super Pro was one of my favorite silly comics from back in the day. Do you have a favorite silly comic that it's obviously wasn't a good idea or good, but just something that you hold on to nostalgically or anything like that from your childhood, Rex?
I'm trying to think. Was there anything really silly? I don't think so. I guess I really kind of read comics, the more serious, obviously growing up with the Claremont X-Men and
There's
Neil
some
Adams
silly stuff in
Batman.
that Claremont X-Men, my friend.
There was, but I can't remember a specific silly title that I really kind of held on to.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so nah, I guess when it came to silly things, I'd find another medium, not comics. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
like
for
silly
me growing
show or
up,
something.
yeah, for me growing up with the X-Men, obviously, the whole concept of mutants and the mutant gene and all that kind of stuff. There was a dark seriousness to it, attached to what was kind of happening in the world at that time. Maybe still happening in the world, I guess. Dealing with the kind of racism and that type of thing. And I thought it was so well done because it addressed the problem without directing it at one particular person, you know what I mean, or a particular group of people.
Yeah.
They created their own group and then dealt with some of the issues in society. I thought that was probably the real magic to that. I think prior to that, everybody thought, oh, how cool would it be to be a superhero? Fantastic Four. Well, you got all this money and you've got your headquarters and everybody's really really cool and they sort of had problems, but they weren't really relatable problems. They're like rich people problems kind of thing. Where with the X-Men it was really different. They were being ostracized, discriminated against, chased after. So it really, I think that's why maybe it kind of appealed to me was there was a real world kind of thing. You know what? I got you. Silly comic. Yes, there was one. I remember now that you bring it up. And it was one of those old oversized comics. It was Superman versus Muhammad Ali.
Oh yeah, Neil Adams.
Yeah, I bought it, I read it, and I'm still kind of, I don't get it. Okay, I'm not feeling it. Okay, so I remember, yes, that was the one silly one that I did buy and I held on to actually I don't know where it is now, but I did hold on to for many, many years, and I guess I reread it, but it just, I don't know, it just, I couldn't, part of my brain just couldn't accept it, if you will, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, and that's cool. It's kind of a little bit sports related too, right?
Yeah,
Obviously, and it's kind of cool to see the sports world try to come into the comic world and vice versa. Sometimes, like there's I got this. Okay, so it was available in like the Dallas Tribune or something like that, but it's a Spider-Man comic book with the Dallas Cowboys fighting the circus of crime. I've got that comic book, and then there's one about Tom Landry, and it's one of those like Bible school.
Yes,
I
remember that one. Yes.
Yeah, and so just I like seeing stuff like that and seeing.
Well, you'll
sports.
find this interesting. Early in my career, when I was in my 20s, and the signed comic, it was about the time that they killed off Superman and they broke Batman's back. And the Incredible Frenzy, the company I was working for, we were selling a lot of stuff on QVC Home Shopping Network. That's how I met Nick, and we were selling these signed books. Well, at one point, as we began to recognize that things were kind of taking a downturn, so how are we going to, anchor ourselves in that collectible universe? We decided we'd try to actually publish one. And it's interesting that you bring this up, because the company I worked for at the time, we were predominantly a sports memorabilia and trading card company. All right, so the kind of cards that we issued were all sports related: basketball, football, baseball, that type of thing. And the company I was with around that time, I'm not sure, it was us and another company. I forget the name of that company, but we started. You ever heard of draft pick cards?
No, I don't think so.
All right, so draft pick cards were actually came along because of licensing issues, right? So the players' associations and the leagues always had control of the trading card license. So that's a deal you sign when you get drafted or whatever. And we had two facets of the business. So we had the collectible side of the business, which did not fall under the purview of, say, the NBA or Players Association. And then we had the trading card division, which did fall under their purview. Mm-hmm. So the company I was working for, we had an exclusive contract with none other than Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, man.
Okay, so Shaquille O'Neal, our trading card company did not have an NBA license at the time. So in order to utilize him, they were called pre-rookie cards or draft pick cards, okay, which was eventually the phrase that was coined. And what he did was you would release a card with the player in his college uniform or with an NBA logo like blurred out. And because that's the way you would avoid the license, you would get around the license that way, right?
Yeah.
But since we had him under contract anyway, somebody said, let's make a Shaquille O'Neal comic book. So we were going to turn Shaquille O'Neal into a superhero, which ended up happening anyway. And he obviously had a lot of interest in the concept, because he went off and after they killed Superman, he made that movie.
Steel,
right?
Yeah.
So he was very into it, and it just never got off the ground. It was just
one of those
projects. Yeah, it was.
I can imagine him being into it, because he had he has the Superman tattoo.
Yep.
And all that stuff. He's a huge fan. Man, that Steel movie. Woo.
Yeah, that was not good. That was not good.
I know. I have a feeling that's one that we're going to be revisiting one day on PCP movie night, and I'm actually kind of looking. I always look forward to like doing those cheesy ones. Like we're doing in January, we're doing Super Mario Brothers, that live action movie.
It doesn't always work, does it? It's the funny thing. I think we were actually talking a little bit about it on Wednesday. About somebody had brought up Lara Croft Tomb Raider. That one didn't really work. I think there were some other awful ones. Sonic the Hedgehog. That never seems to work. I don't know why.
I've heard good things about the new one. They're doing a sequel, so but they had to you remember when they put out that trailer and everybody's like, "What's going on with Sonic?" Yeah. And then they redid the whole thing. It's so weird.
I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like Resident Evil really worked. I remember playing that game, on my PlayStation, and when they turned it into a movie, that one worked. Doom, not so much.
There's a new Doom. Oh yeah, Doom with the Rock.
Yeah, not so much. That was just that felt like a retread of Resident Evil. Just different actors.
There's a new Resident Evil movie out in theaters right now. Actually,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Welcome to Raccoon City or something. I think it's like a prequel, like a reboot. Something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
think it's based on the first game.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't
so.
know if you ever played the game. I mean, the game was pretty cool. I mean, in today's in today's level of graphics, not even close. But back then, it was really really cool.
It was creepy. It had those weird angles. You could
Yeah,
only look at certain scenes a certain way. The tone of the game. My friends used to play it, and we would all just gather around, have a couple drinks. We'd dim the lights and like watch one person play the game, and like it's a horror movie. We're all just like eating popcorn
yeah,
watching it.
it really was. You know, and you're walking around corners. You don't know what's the next corner and stuff. I mean, it really got spooky. I mean, it was a pretty cool game though, and that movie. But now I kind of feel like they've jumped the shark. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I think that the franchise is it's too much now. All right, so we'll see how the prequel does. I'll watch it, because I really loved the game when it came out. I've watched the other ones, but it's weird. Some of these properties cross over into the movies well, and some don't, and there's
Yeah.
really no rhyme or reason as to why. It's kind of crazy.
Well, video games seem to be very difficult for people to realize into cinema, and it's been a curious evolution. Like when I think of my favorite video game movie based on a video game, I always go Street Fighter, and that's not a good movie. I
No,
just
it's not.
love
Yeah,
that movie mostly because of Raul Julia as M. Bison. Like he's fantastic. But like I love the cheesiness of that movie. I have a lot of fun with it, right? Now they
right.
were really trying to seriously do something with that movie, so it's not a
What was
good
the other
movie.
one? Oh shoot, they just did the remake.
Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I know a lot of people picked that one.
That one didn't work either.
Yeah,
Not
I
the
see.
first
I don't
one.
think it holds up. I don't think it does.
The second one didn't either. I mean, I'll say this about the second one: the quality of the special effects and the choreography of the fight scenes, I thought were very good. Certainly
Yeah,
better than the first one. But the storyline didn't hold either. It was just like
yeah,
I got to the end of it, I'm like, okay,
yeah. Now the second
another
one
fight
also has
scene.
a really good soundtrack, though. It really does. A lot of
It
like
does. It
cool,
does.
like electronic type music and
Right, right. It
industrial
does.
feeling. Is really fun stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I
Well,
just I don't know why it doesn't cross over well sometimes.
what would you say is your favorite video game based movie?
Hmm. Now I'm trying to pick my brain. I would have to go back to my original choice. Would be the first Resident Evil.
Okay.
I thought that they did a good job kind of filling out the storyline, and I think that the reason for that was because the video game had such a great storyline base, and that they could use that and expand upon that, and then that's why it kind of worked. And it was scary enough, and if you played the game, you kind of recognized what was going on there. But once they start to make the second and third, and they kind of lost me a little bit because it just seemed very much the same.
Yeah.
It's The Walking Dead without, with better special effects, but a much weaker storyline. I
Gotcha.
think they kind of ran out. They because there wasn't a lot of premise. There was enough for a video game, but they didn't. Once they expanded at one time, I think they went to there wasn't too much more left. But the game, I don't remember. It was popular for a time, but it didn't really take off like some of the more popular games that have come out through the years.
Yeah, I mean, they did a bunch of them. I mean, it had it was always there. I mean, I think it just like a Sony exclusive for a while or something
Yeah,
like that, and then it moved around and I guess they just made waves with the new one because there was that lady vampire or the lady zombie or whatever that everybody started memeing last year or something. So, but I'm so out of like unplugged from the video game world.
so
Like
am I.
like
Yeah,
when I do play video games, I'm playing Super Nintendo and Nintendo games, Genesis. Like I'm playing the old school 8-bit, 16-bit stuff, man.
well, I got to tell you, I'm thinking about, and I've been out of it for a long time as well. But I've been thinking about getting the Oculus VR, headset.
Yeah.
I've seen that. That's pretty cool. And I think they're releasing a Resident Evil version of that as well. So that should be interesting. That should be very interesting. But
Yeah.
oh, you know what? We did have a couple of things that are going to be special on Monday's show, and this was actually personally picked out by Nick. So we're going to have the Stray Dogs Free Comic Book Day edition. We're going to have Enter the House of Slaughter Free Comic Book Day edition and Usagi Yojimbo #1. So those are a couple of things that we don't normally bring. Nick thought it'd be a good idea to kind of shake it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So those are going to be three comics that are not really what we normally do, but because they'll be unsigned. So we'll have that on Monday night. Always great comics. You and I talk about that. And the nice thing about getting them slabbed from us is that you guarantee the grade, and we'll turn around. It's already graded, already slabbed. There's no wait time. There's no having to pack it up, submit it yourself, all that kind of stuff. So we'll have some of those, and as we said earlier in the show, always going to have Haeser, something.
Yeah.
So actually, probably I'm going to start thinking about it right after this show. What Haezers we can bring on Monday. But
nice. And we're always going to have the 10-pack reader set. It's 10 randomized Dynamite comics. It's going to be $5. That's a fantastic thing, especially for the gift-giving season, which we're in right now, in the midst of Hanukkah right now. We got the deluxe mega mix set that's become popular, where there's usually like a CGC book, a remarked book, a signed book, an exclusive, something like that, bundled together.
Yeah, we've been mixing it up. So usually you get a graded a slab book, usually 9.8. And then we've been doing 2 autograph books, usually a silver or gold signature series, and then 1 remark. So then I think maybe it was Monday, I don't know. Then we mix it up a little bit. So we'll see what works better. So we may see one of our mega mix packs with the graded book, 1 signature and 2 remarks, and see how that flies.
Yeah.
Kind of mix it up a little bit, see what the viewers want. The viewers also, hey, put in the chat boards if there's something you want to see. We're always open to if we can get our hands on it or something that we have, we'll definitely bring it on the show.
I also see that there's a Amazing Spider-Man 365 on that list, and
yes,
that was one of my favorite Spider-Man comics back in the day because I had all 4 of them. I still have all 4 of them. Those like holograph covers or whatever that's on them. Oh, amazing stuff, man.
So that was also one of the items that Nick had picked out and requested to put on the show.
Yes.
So we're trying to find where everybody's at, what our viewers want. So we'll try these little experiments. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't.
That's super
like
cool.
the Mega Pack. Wasn't sure if that was going to work. That turned out to be real popular. And then we started bringing on the coin set after we used it as a contest giveaway as well. So.
Yeah. So speaking of contest giveaway, I guess it's time to announce the winner of the contest.
It is.
All right.
It is. And tonight's prize is going to be the Kick-Ass Cloth card. All right. So this was something that we created. All right. And an actual piece of the costume is in this card. So that will be tonight's prize for the lucky winner.
All right. And all you had to do was be a part of that Monday night show in the chat, and them randomizing through the names. And the winner is Nilo Bermeo. Bermeo. Okay.
Nilo.
Nilo.
Amy, do you mind writing that down? Because I came onto the show without a pen this time. Nilo. Nilo is the winner of the cloth kick-ass card.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Yep.
Also, if you want to be entered to win our next contest, the winner will be announced on Monday night show. All you got to do is comment below on this video. In fact, comment whatever you want, but what's your favorite video game adapted movie? Like, what's your favorite? What's your favorite video game movie? I want to know. That's a great conversation to have.
That is a great conversation piece. Absolutely. And just listen, all you have to do is you even just say hello and you're entered in a contest of the drawing on Monday. But I always encourage people to post something in the chat because really our viewers make the show. I mean, it's that interaction with them that I think keeps it fresh, keeps it interesting. And they ask some great questions, have some great comments. It's really a lot of fun. We love interacting with our viewers. Otherwise it'd be just 2 hours of silence probably. That's not true. John could talk through anything. So it would be 2 hours of silence, but who wants to spend 2 hours listening to John talk?
Right.
Right. So, but yeah, absolutely. I mean, we love doing the shows. I think that guys like yourself, you, Robbie, and Alec, when you come on the show, when we started having you guys as guests on our shows, it added a level to the entertainment, the knowledge, certainly. So if you are watching Robbie's show, please, click the thumbs up, subscribe, share it. It helps him grow his channel, and we need guys like Robbie. We need guys like AR. Love their stuff. Their shows tend to be more content, knowledge, information related, which is very, very important, and very different from some of the claim shows you see out there for sure. Because these guys are dropping opinions and critiques and things of that nature. And both of them are very knowledgeable. I mean, obviously Robbie knows his stuff, not just about comics, but a lot about pop culture, horror, things of that that nature are right up his alley. So this is definitely something you want to watch. So definitely make sure to join his show. And then on the experience, we do our Friday night 7 to 8 original art shows. So if you're an original art collector, these are all Eastern times. Definitely join us. And then Monday, we're on with Rockin Robbie from 6 to 8 Eastern with my buddy John. And as he said, we'll have some great collectibles, some great comics. And then on Wednesdays, we do it again. 6 to 8, me and John. And then we have Alec from AR Comics join us on Wednesdays. And, it's always a great time. I mean, we always have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate all those kind words, Rex. I'm really much looking forward to joining you and John again on Monday. We always have great time, great conversation, and interacting with the chat. It's always fantastic. And I'm excited for you to be there Monday night, 6 p.m. Eastern time over at The Experience. There's a link in the description below, so do not miss out on that video, and comment below in this video anything you want. But in particular, we really want to know what your favorite video game movie is too. But comment below. You're entered to win that contest. We'll announce that on Monday night. Rex, it's been a pleasure as always.
Thank you, Robbie, as always, buddy.
Yes, station.